Ross, you just let me know when we're good. All right, we're in it.
We're in it.
Let's go. Here we go.
Jacq, this is fun.
Mirren alert. Mirren alert. I like the idea of standing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I feel like I could just pretty much do anything back here.
Do a couple of karate chops, not to the guests today.
One of those elbow rib shots.
I like it.
Talk to me, Gino. We're at Mirren Live. Pretty much the way I think about this, it's like if you're talking about new business agencies, legitimately trying to get better at new business, you come here. A lot of conferences we go to and see. It's a lot less about learning and more about just like getting sold to be honest. So this is exciting to be here. The crew at Mirren, they said, bring your damn live show. Do it here. So we got the conference legitimately right behind us.
Yes, sir.
Noise complaint imminent.
It's great, Jacq. And for the folks back at home that might not know, I was working in communications and in new business. So I am going to completely nerd out with the guests that we're talking with today. Some of the best new business professionals in the world. How do you grow an agency? How do you win new business? Do you pitch? Do you not pitch? Do you spend a bunch of money on it, Jacq? We're going to learn from the best today.
All the above, Gino. I love it. Before we get into that and bring in our guests, let's go into the 2-minute drill real quick. Biggest stories of the day, live from Mirren. Shout out Mirren. Let's get it going. First one, Gino, help me out here. What do we got?
We got Miller Lite launching a MVP match ball, Jacq. It's a soccer ball that holds up to 12 beers in it. So for me, that would be a personal match ball.
That's an afternoon. That's it. I mean, that's easy. That's multiple match balls for that. This Miller Lite, no stranger, Gino. No stranger to these kinds of stunts.
They love their product drops.
And you think about it, I saw there's a lot of opportunity here for spherical shaped analogies between the FIFA World Cup and then some products out there.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about Buzzballs. I know for a fact that Buzzballs has a soccer style Buzzball to get inebriated by. Miller Lite comes in, match ball. What are the odds you can kick that thing around?
I can kick that thing around, Jacq, here. We got to give a shout out to the ad agency. Mischief made this one, so nice job to them here. But yeah, what do we want to know? It's FIFA World Cup is coming up here. They do the match ball. They're like selling it, I think it's $19.75.
That's pretty
Do you know
cheap.
why?
Why? Oh, I mean, 1975 feels significant.
Yeah.
What is it?
That was when Miller Lite was founded.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that one, to be honest with you.
There's a lot of anniversaries this year. I mean, you got 250 for America. There's 150 for like a bunch of different brands. It's like 100 years for some. 1975 Miller Lite. Shout out Sophia Colucci as well.
Yes.
I mean, the amount of just like consistent, really like culturally relevant tie-ins make sense. We just saw them do the Livy Dunn tea set.
And
correct?
listen, I have the Livy Dunn tea set in the
do?
office. Yes.
Oh,
I have
shit.
not shared it with anybody
What
because
the
I'm
fuck,
looking to
dude?
resell it, Jacq.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
these products, when you get them from Miller Lite, they go on eBay for like 10x the price.
Yeah, and if you can
So
hear
that's
this, you can hear that they're starting a conference back up behind us.
Yes.
But I tested the audio. I think we'll be good to go.
No, and they can yell at
they
us.
can yell at us
Ask
if
for
they want.
forgiveness, not
They
permission.
wouldn't, because the great people at Mirren would never yell at us because they are great. Next up, Gino, is search officially donezo? This came across my feed. Search. The Condé Nast CEO goes on TBPN, great program by the way,
love them.
Inspiration, shout out. Condé Nast CEO comes on and he says,
What do
we're
you say?
treating all of our brands, all of our publications, media entities as if search doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It doesn't, Jacq. It's gone. When you go on Google, you search up a product, you see an AI overview. And then below that, you see sponsored stuff.
And then below that, sponsored stuff.
Sponsored stuff again, Jacq. But what's the takeaway? What do people need to know?
Well, to me, my big thing is, okay, if we're going away from search, are we going to be moving money away from search? So I think like performance marketing is just shifting in the way that any sort of marketing does. And I think this is like the next thing. However, like I don't know what happens with search from here because people still use search. People are still searching for things. It's just the bang for your buck if you're going to be going in on like sponsored and like search isn't going as far as it used to when there was less competition, there's less sponsored slots. Gino.
Right.
It reminds me of like banner ads for websites.
Totally, Jacq.
Right?
And- yeah, exactly.
that good?
Dude, you clip that. Ross, make sure you clip that. That was the best thing I've ever heard.
Am I wrong though? You tell me.
No, I think what this reminds me of is a couple weeks ago, we talked about the CMO of Zoom who has a SWAT team for AEO. That's Answer Engine Optimization, focusing on the publishing press releases to the wire, building the brand, putting the FAQs, building your website out so it shows up on these agentic search results
If
pages.
you're a breaking and entering super fan, like every one of you are, you know that we have talked about the fact that media fragmentation it's going more fragmented. It's getting fractured. I'm gonna go. How about this one? Media fracturization.
Fracturization.
Fractured. It's like when you throw a baseball at this glass window, which I will be doing shortly.
Shatterization.
Media shatterization, Gino. That's search.
That's
but
search.
Interesting. It's something we'll see if brands kind of like look at that and.
And yeah, the takeaway to me, it's always about brand building, knowing your audience. Like the fundamentals don't shift. If you do it that right, it'll show up.
Next up, Priceline new
Negotiator. Will Shatner is how old now?
He is like
94.
103 years old.
No, 94, Jack.
He's 94.
94 years old. He's in a commercial
Actually?
for Priceline, and
He looks great.
he's retiring, and he's officially passing the torch to the next Priceline negotiator. Who do we got, Jack?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Randall Park.
Randall Park. This is one of those guys you don't know his name, but you see him everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember when he played the cameo as pretending to be Jim from The Office? They pranked Dwight by pretending that Randall Park is Jim, and he's not Jim. But then they pranked Dwight.
Yeah.
That's how when I see him, I think of that scene from The Office. But thoughts on this? Just the overall strategy of like you kind of like keep the thing we saw with State Farm.
Jake, the original Jake from State Farm, yeah.
Yeah, is a good
switch it
concept.
over. So I think you had a distinctive brand asset. This was done by Mirren. They brought Mirren in for this here. Whenever you're transferring that like brand mascot over, you have to do that very carefully here. And it seemed like this was a good, fun, creative execution of that. But ultimately, it's going to be up to the consumers that they buy into this new mascot.
Well, and the reason these things work, why like the Shatman works, is because they were doing it over and over. Consistent. It doesn't flow from Progressive. I think about like Jake from State Farm, they hit you over and over and over with it. So it's like you can't go in on this without having a plan to be like consistent about having this guy's face show up over and over and over again, because that's the only way.
State Farm is I think probably the best benchmark for this transition, because people don't remember the original Jake from State Farm probably. So however that blueprint was, they should follow that.
At this point, there's been more of the new Jake from State Farm, like 10 times more than the old one.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting to get like the Jake from State Farm, the OG Jake from State Farm had a big like, I feel like burst onto the scene, and they kind of like got a lot of attention. And then when they shifted over, they were able to carry it forward. And honestly, it's bigger than it ever was before.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Next up, Gino, Air, creative operations platform and friend of the program, former sponsor of the program, not sponsoring this right now, but they do a new move right now with a boy band that I had not heard of until last night.
That's right, Jack. Well, 6 months ago, nobody's heard of this boy band. It is called Boy Throb. Today, over 2 million followers. And the whole story is very interesting here, why they started this. It's 3 people came together to try to like go viral intentionally to help support their friend Darshan, who is looking for an O1 visa to move to the US. So they create this kind of fake, like satirical boy band. 2 million followers, 6 months, and last night, Air, the creative ops platform, sponsors their first concert ever. Line around the block. It was the largest line I've ever seen in New York City, Jack. Sold out instantly.
And you were there, and you had a chance to actually exclusively interview one of the heartthrobs, boy throbs. Can you just explain? I don't know if we'll be able to show up, but can you just explain what that conversation was like? I can only imagine.
Listen, this guy, you have to remember, I have this interview, and this guy just got done with the biggest night of his life. So he was exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
And they did a great job. But basically, I went up to him. I was like, why are you doing this? So what I just talked about, what basically worked on social. So he talked about I know.
Social strategy.
I was like,
it's like 1 a.m.
What did you do? How'd you test? And he's been partying and stuff. But he's like, well, first thing, just having the matching pink suits. These guys wear matching pink suits to all their concerts, and it just bursts out on the algorithm. Distinctive brand asset there as well. And trying things, coming together, their marketing brains, just to do whatever it takes to create content consistently, and they did a good job.
Yeah, they did a great job. And why is Air doing this? Because they're just doing crazy stuff all the time. I remember the Instacart concert that they put on with Third Eye Blind. Just a great event. Next one, NBC cancels on brand with Jimmy Fallon. Gino, I am sorry. Condolences.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is not good. I love Jimmy Fallon, and why are you so sorry to me? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I'm just like, I mean, I feel like we all can just join in sadness.
Yes.
That On Brand will not be coming back.
Can I be honest with you, Jack?
I didn't watch 1 second.
I didn't watch a single second.
So why didn't it work? why do you think it didn't work? I didn't watch a second of it, but maybe that's a
That could be a
like,
thing.
The marketing of it really wasn't effective. I think like the trailers kind of made you think like this isn't actual advertising. This isn't like real life.
I'm just spitballing with
Yeah,
you.
let's talk.
Jimmy Fallon, he's not an ad guy. He loves ads. That's great. I respect that. But like, does he know the inside outs? Like, could he? I don't know how the show is set up, but like, from the people that are working hard at these ad agencies to see just an outsider come in, I speculate like it didn't have that continuity, that
You
authenticity.
need, if you're gonna bring, I get the idea of bringing in like a celebrity to host it.
Yeah.
But you can't like pawn off that. Like I remember in the trailers them being like Jimmy Fallon always been big in the ads and marketing. It's like that doesn't really seem true. I don't think that he hasn't acted like that. He's been in ads and commercials
For sure.
and he probably has his own brands and stuff. But you have to just, I think they made it too much about Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
And less about what the show would be. It's like you can't do Survivor and be like Survivor with Jimmy Fallon and by Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
It's like Survivor is the thing that people are going for, and then Paul Roast or whatever that guy's name is kind of like he's just a great host.
Yeah.
And he's someone that people come back to because he's a part of the brand.
And another thing for me, it's like, if I'm working in advertising all day, all night, like,
See
do I
more
want
ads.
my free time to see more stressed out advertising people do their job?
If they do it awesomely, if they make it like an interesting
Yes.
show.
Yes.
But the marketing of it I think just fell flat, and I think it's a good reminder that like you gotta appeal to like the very core audience first to get the to make it try to cast the wide net. So
Well, now there's new room for a potential new show.
that's right, Gino.
Yeah, there we go.
Speaking of a show that's happening right now, we're live from Mirren. Mirren, shout out Mirren, new agency, new business. This is where you come to learn legitimately. So we're live right now. We're gonna bring on our first guest. First guest. This is a big deal. I want everyone to just
Let's tee
calm
this
down,
up here.
all right?
Everybody calm down.
Just
This is our
take a deep
first
breath.
guest. She's here with us now. Is Jacq Steele, Global Chief Marketing Officer. Can you guess the agency, Jack?
I'll let her say it. What agency?
Hi guys. Hi everyone. I
this
am
is you.
Jacq Steele. Oh, sorry.
If you want to just clip
Hello,
that.
we'll do that
If you want
again.
to clip it, you can just clip it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's gonna be-
Wieden
it's gonna
and
be-
Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is an agency that I would imagine doesn't struggle very much when it comes to pitching. We just talked with Lily's, was it CMO? Eli Lilly's CMO, and you guys had she had a wonderful note about working with you all in the new business process. So we were just coming off the heels of that great campaign. You just presented now. So I think what we want to do is understand what you spoke about in the keynote here at Mirren Live.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. We just, I just got up there and talked about what Wieden does. What Wieden does best is I think just we bring our real, authentic selves. It's funny, you're just talking about Jimmy Fallon and on brand, and it made me think about like, yeah, it's not working because it's not real and it's not authentic. And so I just talked about that today and said, be yourself, get up there, be confident in who you are. Don't try to be like other agencies because you're not, and just, focus on that.
You have to be yourself because everybody else is already taken, Jack. And speaking of taken, we have the same names, and you have
We
taken
do.
my name, just a
I'm-
little bit
yeah.
different. It's a Q, and it's short for something. Mine's not, but I thought that we should find some common ground early in the interview to
I like
establish
that.
rapport.
Thank you. Yeah, you're good at what
Yeah,
you do.
thank you so much. But I like when you're up there, you acknowledge the fact that like it's easy for Wieden to say what you're saying up there, like win new business. Why don't you just win, or like just have a storied history of decades and have a ton of success. But explain that part of it.
Absolutely. So a lot of people say, oh, that's easy for Wieden and Kennedy to say, or that's easy for Wieden and Kennedy to do. And I just wanted to hit that right on its head. Because I'm not, it's like, yes, maybe that is easy for us to do because we're acting like ourselves. But the point of my keynote today wasn't to try to get people to be more like Wieden and Kennedy. It's, in fact, the opposite.
Yeah.
Be you, be more like you, and then you'll show up like you. So
Yeah, I
that
have
was
a
the
question,
gist of that.
Gino.
Yeah,
I have
please.
a question. I'm going to press you a little bit here. This is going to be a tough question. So let's say you start at a new agency,
Okay.
and you're learning the ropes at the new agency, and you need to be that new agency. What are the first things that you're going to do as a new business professional? How are you going to understand the agency brand for the folks listening today?
Yeah, totally. I think step number one is knowing who you are through and through. Before you get out there and pitch, you got to know who you are. I mean,
What does that look like? Are you looking at the archives, the old ads that they've made? Are you looking at the current suite of people today that are working there? Are you hosting a party? Because I would just throw a big happy hour personally.
That
throw
might
the
work.
tab, and you're gonna learn about everybody.
Let's drink one of those Miller Lite soccer balls.
That's right.
And then you'll find out a lot about
For sure.
But sorry.
No. I mean, hey, a party could totally work. But no, I mean, what we do when we start new offices, we try to keep each office 1/3 the ethos of Wieden and Kennedy, 1/3 the people, 1/3 the city. So we're kind of marrying all those things so that that office can show up like them. So I don't know if you remember from my keynote, I talked a little bit about how at the beginning, Wieden and Kennedy, New York, when I was the new business of Wieden and Kennedy, New York, we often kind of showed up like a mini Wieden and Kennedy, Portland. Mm-hmm. And, that wasn't working for us. And if you think about it, it's like, well, yeah, New York and Portland couldn't be further from each other. So, of course, that wasn't going to work.
Yeah. And so now you kind of, and this is what I think is really glaze-worthy, is like Wieden. I feel like probably you all for so long reputation, like the Nike agency.
Yeah.
And I feel like those days of being just known for that are so long gone. At least when just seeing like the body of work in the portfolio now. And so it has a lot of that, do you think, been driven by the fact that
Totally.
New York has, in the best way possible, tried to like separate from.
Yeah, I think our work kind of has done that for us. So, a Nike founding client kind of taught us how to do it, and so using that, but and expanding, doing what we learned with Nike for all sorts of brands all over the world has really helped us. And I think that's the part of like the 1/3 ethos of Wieden and Kennedy in each office. We're all trying to work with brands and get them to be exactly who they are, which Lena kind of talked about with you all.
I was going to ask about, like, a lot of agencies have some sort of internal rating system or approval process of if they're going to work on a pitch.
Yeah.
I've heard of the 3 F's. It's like fame, it'll bring your agency fame, they act like family, the client, or it'll bring in some money with fortune. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have a system like that when you're kind of auditing potential opportunities?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, our filter for opportunities is pretty simple. We like to first see if the opportunity would be interesting to the people who work at Wieden and Kennedy, because that's the goal, is to get people excited and make awesome work. So first thing we ask is, would this make the agency proud? Second thing we ask is this an opportunity to make good work? Work that we believe in, work that is going to help change the brand over time. And so, agency would make the agency proud. Is this a good creative opportunity? And then third is just like your basic, do we have the bandwidth to take it on? Would it overwhelm the system and whatnot? And then we go and pitch or start working with the client. And then that's a big part of it too. It's how are we, and when you show up like yourself, which was part of the keynote again, when you show up like yourself and you pitch like no one's watching, then you, yeah, exactly. Then you can really assess whether this is going to be a good partnership, right? We tend to be brutally honest and really authentic when we're pitching. That seems to work for us, and then we can figure out, we're trying to find our people and find our good partners.
I have 2 things, that I want to get to. I have 2 things that I want to get to.
Get to it, Jacq.
The first thing I will get to is fact or fiction. You invited yourselves to the forward pitch.
We did.
Boom. Fact.
That's illegal. You can't do that.
You're not allowed to do that.
Why?
You're not allowed
Why
to do that.
can't you?
Well, I mean, unless you win. So
what does that mean? Like you just threw your hat in the ring? Like
Yeah.
we heard through the grapevine there was a review and you just got in?
Yeah, and so you figure out the consultant that's running the pitch, and I think the story goes they reached out and said, hey, heard you're in review. Is there a reason why Wieden and Kennedy can't get in there? And they were like, well, we're looking for one global agency to do everything. So you were invited. And we were like, ooh, ouch.
Yeah, I've heard that type of stuff before.
say that to the Amsterdam office.
But no, then we did. We got our way in there, and we didn't pretend to be
Yes.
a big agency that could do it all. We just talked to them honestly about what we can do for them, and here we are.
Yeah,
It's like
and
9 years now.
It's also like part of the filter too. Like if you sussed out that Ford would be a good creative partner for you all,
Yeah.
that you're not necessarily like we want to work on Ford because we know Ford's a big global brand.
Yeah.
Is it because I mean there's plenty of global brands out there that Wieden I'm
Sure.
sure has not pitched and or asked to be in the review for.
Yeah, well, I mean, we just loved that it was an American brand that was struggling, and we felt like we could help them find their voice again. And kind of that was, an interesting challenge to us. We figured it was something we should at least give a try.
Yeah. It excited the people.
Yeah.
Good work can come from it, and you had the bandwidth.
Totally.
Gino's got it down. This is like
See?
money. And I feel like he's like Lisa Matarazzo. First off,
Best
Oh,
name,
yes,
marketing.
yes, we
best
love
name
Lisa.
in marketing. I have never met her personally. I'm really interested like her philosophy and ethos when it comes to like the creative work and pushing forward the Ford brand. I mean, coming off of, it is a big global kind of rebranding, ready set
That's
forward.
what Weiden's up to though today.
I know.
They're doing like the global branding and positioning.
Yeah.
Eli Lilly, Ford.
Let's keep going. Just name
What was the
Wow,
other one
guys.
we were talking about yesterday? What was?
You know
Linda
your
Simon.
stuff.
What's
Nike,
one?
Nike McDonald's.
Nike,
McDonald's. Yeah.
Ford.
Yeah. Wait,
Those
what
are
was the
big
question?
brands. Those are big brands.
You were
That's when
talking
come
about
to
Lisa. And
Yeah. What's like working with Lisa?
brand platforms.
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa's amazing. That's the thing. That's part of pitching is finding your people. We're looking for partners like Lisa, like Morgan, like Lena. We have really great clients and the clients that we work with because they knew exactly what they were getting with Wieden and Kennedy. They learned that through the pitch. So there wasn't really a surprise in how it was going to be working with Wieden. So we
Yeah.
try to pitch like it's not a pitch.
Right, because you hear there's so much in like the new business world.
Yeah.
There's a lot of discourse around like we shouldn't be pitching at all. There's the pitch process needs to change.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you all are not afraid to pitch. Don't hate the idea of pitching, but
Yeah.
I would love to hear your thoughts on like the state of the union as it stands for new business and pitching right now.
Well, no, it's no secret. It's tough out there. It's quiet for all of us because of the state of things. But I think not letting. But I think what we're really good at is just because the phone's not ringing as much, it doesn't mean you just take on anything. You're still true to yourself, and so you're still. It's
that's
okay.
good. No,
It's all
that's a good
good.
point.
They're having a great
Yeah, they're
time
having
out
a great
there. So no, I think you still nothing changes.
Okay.
You're still going to be selective, and you're still going to a pitch like you're looking for your long-term partner.
Right. It's like you all have been around long enough. The agency's been around long enough to be able to understand the cyclicality.
Yeah.
I feel like. But
Yeah.
For like new agencies, I could totally see. You're in as soon as you start, you're in like fight or flight mode.
Yeah.
To like figure it out and make sure it works.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just Wieden life. How is everything going now with Wieden globally? With growth?
We're doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
it's.
happy to hear that.
Thank you.
It's just been quite the run. And then we talked yesterday, like we mentioned, Lena
Yeah.
from Eli Lilly and her saying that they reverse pitched.
Yeah.
They reverse
We've
pitch.
never-
That is a dream scenario.
That
when
was
the
a moment.
brand
I was almost like Lena. I feel like you're an ambassador right now for it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I know we didn't pay her for that.
you pay her
too,
for
but-
that?
So for those that did not tune in yesterday, Lena Palomeni, the CMO of consumer at Eli Lilly, told us she'd been working on trying to get Wieden to work with Eli Lilly
Yeah.
for a few years.
Yeah.
On the third or fourth time of convincing you all, she finally broke through.
Yeah.
But explain that process.
Sure. So I think a strong CMO like Lena can do that. It takes having the
gosh.
right partner and the right ambitions. She actually loved the P&G work. She mentioned this on
Yes,
so
she
she
did.
loved the Thank You Moms campaign, and that was kind of the heart and soul of what she was looking to do with Lily's work. And so, yeah, she said, I really want to take this. She also didn't want to be known for she didn't want to do pharma ads.
Yes,
And
right.
so she kind of felt that Wieden Kennedy could help her do that. And it was, I think there was a few conversations. I think we were like the third part of the filter, like pharma, can we handle that? That's a different thing, and we haven't done that yet. And so we really wanted to assess it and make sure it was right before taking it on, and glad we did.
Right.
Yeah.
Making awesome work with them.
Listen, I'm just curious here. It's not every day you can talk to the global CMO of one of the best agencies. Is there any like stories, things you can tell us
There we go.
of like a pitch theater?
Oh,
You went
yeah.
above and beyond. Like you
crazy.
planted something, you did something crazy to win over
We've
the
got
client, or you just like
Tom's team is here right now. They can just give you the wave off if you end up saying something that is
like
inappropriate.
and the PR response in my comments were is like, no, it's just focused on good strategy, good work, and we try not to be like anybody else. So you can
Yeah.
go that route, and I'll
Sure.
give you the exit.
We're back. Once you guys see.
YouTube is loading. YouTube is open. We're good. We're live.
All right, we're live. Ross.
Yes.
All right, we're live.
We're back.
Gab Schmitt, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank
Global
you.
CCO of Gray.
Yes,
That's a big
That's
time
me.
title, right? Come on. How you feeling right now?
I'm good. Well, I had the Clios last night, so I'm tired.
you're
But
tired.
it was good.
Took home a good amount of Cleos last
It was
night.
nice. It was really nice.
Congrats.
Thank you. Had a nice night,
Yeah.
and it's always good to see friends. We had a nice conversation too. So it was
Oh,
good.
that's great.
Yeah.
It's award season right now.
Yeah,
for
it is.
For you, how do you get through this? It's just it's got to be a lot on top of the day to day. I mean, listen, no one's gonna feel sorry for you. For but it matters a lot for
It does.
agencies right now. Do you think it matters even more these days, or
I think
the
it-
wants part of it?
I think as long as if it's intentional, yes.
Yeah.
I think we always say here at WPP, and that's Rob quote that the awards are a byproduct of the work you do for the clients. You shouldn't do things for the awards.
Yeah.
One of the main things we started doing, after I joined, now 3 years ago as Global CCO at Gray, was to make sure that we're winning with our biggest clients. And that started to happen. It's really cool to see all the wins coming from even local clients. We have 20 plus studios around the world, but having big clients, local clients from those studios winning big, I think it's really important. And then obviously the global clients as well. That's where we're investing too. I think it all comes from the relationship we have with them, right? At the end of the day, we want to make sure that they are very, they want to feel celebrated. They want to feel that the work is being celebrated by our peers.
Yes.
And I think it helps push the work. So when you do this with intention, it's all good. I'm all in. When you do this only for the shiny object, it's just a distraction.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's interesting to hear the focus, making sure your biggest clients are getting in on the awards.
Yes.
Because I feel like sometimes, I don't know, like you could go like award hunting, so to speak.
Yeah.
And like you just find a client, you're like, okay, let's do it.
There's ways to
award.
hack it, like right
Yeah.
before the entry season. You find like a local client, you do something like really big and creative. Like that's happened before, but like for a big client to win, like they approved that, they ran that campaign. We've seen it. Then you win, and that's a freaking smash.
And I think that's also a proxy to the value that creativity has in this industry, right? You're right. Many years ago, when I started, 20-something years ago, in this industry, there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
You hack the system to try to win awards.
Yeah.
Again, it's a disservice because it's a waste of time. It's a waste of focus. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
I much rather have the right relationship, even if it takes a while to
Yes.
get to the point when you're doing good things that are so good that become celebrated. But having the real work being celebrated is what you want. Otherwise, like, what are we doing as a creative industry?
And it takes some time, right? Like so you're year 3 in as global CCO. Do you feel like you're hitting your stride right now on the new business front, like this award season? Answer's probably going to be yes, but can you give me some tangibles?
I'll give you some tangibles. No, it's really nice because, as you just said, it's a process, right? But when things started to work, you see working in all fronts. So, for example, just this past month, we launched the Budweiser work for the World Cup, which you guys shout out. Thank you.
Great.
We really appreciate that. We've been winning a lot of new business. We announced that WPP won the Henkel pitch a couple of weeks ago, which is a massive opportunity, a massive thing that Gray was really involved on. And now we're having the results on the awards as well. So that to me is the signs that we're getting the operations right, so that everybody's going towards the same North Star.
Nice.
That's what we need to do.
What is a North Star then? Creative that can actually help businesses, help
One of the
clients.
reasons why I came to Gray is because of Famously Effective. The North Star of Famously Effective.
Famously Effective.
It's very to me it's very sharp and represents our industry really well. In the best days, our industry needs to be famously effective, right? If you only do things that are tactics and get some peaks in PR, but have no business results, waste of money, waste of focus. If you only do things that are performance driven, and they may have again some peaks on performance, but there's no creativity coming through it or off of it.
Yeah.
So we try to merge both.
That's like the perfect line.
That's you know what I mean? So that's the perfect line. Yeah. And the work that I was doing before, the work that I was leading before early in my career, I'm biased, but I thought it was that type of work. And when Gray, invited me to join, it was perfect because I didn't have to come with a new vision, nor have the company adapting to a new vision. It's all one and the same, and here we are.
I've been talking a lot. I have another question, Jacq, but I want to give you an opportunity.
No, go.
I was going to say, a pitch comes in for Gray. What do you, Gabriel Schmitt, the CCO of Gray, how do you get involved right away? Are you auditing it? Are you thinking of ideas? Are you hopping in with the strategists? Where is your mind going right away when you see an RFP or you made it to the next round?
Yeah, so it depends. It depends on the size of the pitch, but let's say a hefty one. I am 100% involved. Just like Jonathan Lee, the global CSO, is 100% involved, and so is Jason Kanner as well. And we are the global leadership of the company, right? As a creative, I believe that strategy is almost as important as creativity, as the creative output. And what I mean by that is we invest a lot of time in data gathering and whatnot, and really working on the strategy to make sure that the jumping off point to the work is as interesting and kind of natural as possible. I would rather delay the creative process and have it right than kind of jumping all over the place and trying to make things work. Obviously, that's not always possible. The schedules are always tight and whatnot, but ideally, that's what we do. And then, I've been involved in pitches from all different sizes, up to a standard, and I go on the calls, I go on the meetings, whatever the team needs. I'm there. At the same time, I want to make sure that, let's say it's Gray US, right, and it's the US, the New York office. I want to make sure that Sammy, Agnes, Beth, the leaders of the agency are there representing the work, and they're connecting with the clients and their prospects in the best possible way. But Gray is not that big, which is good, and that's our positioning. I like to say we're the smallest of the big ones, which means we have senior leaders really doing stuff as well,
that's nice.
And being close to the work so that we can get to the results we all want.
Well, there's almost, to be in your spot, do you think that there is value in just having someone that's there just to be like, go with this, don't go with this? Like, I've heard this theory of when there's decision making happening, it's by committee. What happens is everyone is they're tirelessly defending one of two different ideas, which in the grand scheme of things, they're both ideas that will work. The difference between them is nothing.
Yes.
You just need to pick one, but you spend so much time thinking about it, but it doesn't really matter.
And I see that happening. I saw that happening a lot in my career. And yes, we try to be as sharp and decisive as possible. I also think it's important to remember, all a pitch is a story you're telling.
Right.
So the idea is incredibly important, but the story you're telling to land on that idea, or the story you're telling of how you landed there, is equally as important. By story, I mean not only the strategy and the orchestration, the theater, but this is where the data is coming from. This is where crossing those types of different inputs. This is where it's leading to strategies for so on. So the story is really important.
Yeah. I love me some lead-up slides when it gets into the insight, and then this sort of thing.
Right.
I also think that lends itself to how does this impact the business? How does this actually affect growth for the business? Because that's the most important part of the story from all of these marketers and all these brands. But I think that can get lost sometimes.
Totally. We did a pitch a few months ago for the Almonds Board of California, and it was really fun because we started the final meeting. We had several different meetings, but started the final meeting kind of telling the end of the story, and it was an incredibly integrated pitch.
A little bit.
And then we go, no, let us tell you how we. And the idea was I was gonna say nuts. I'm glad I didn't. The idea was really out there, and they were like, "Let us tell you why this will work." And then we did I was like a prequel to the idea.
Yeah.
And it worked. I'm not saying this is the only way of doing it, but it's a story you tell and how you're connecting all the chapters together to make sure it is compelling and convince them that it's compelling and the right partner.
Yeah, I mean, that is, I mean, I feel like that's great advice. Just think of when you're doing a pitch, pretty much, think about the different types of stories that exist. And you can, I feel like there's great graphics out there too, that like show the hero's journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Macbeth, I think, is just all sad.
The Kurt Vonnegut
Yes.
scale. Jack and I have the same algorithm, so we see everything the same.
But speaking of algorithms, because I think there's a temptation to do what you were saying earlier, which is like get the big PR moment, get 1 million impressions on this one buzzy thing, but then it's like, how do you connect that to actual results?
And it has to be connected to a larger story.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's cool, but it's cool for 20 minutes. It's cool for a day, and then it's gone.
Because then you need to it's like you're building the funnel. Like you need to connect that to performance at the bottom. So like performance without the top is just as worthless too, if you don't have a story to tell.
There's this idea of timeless and timely, which is not something that Greg created, but there's few agencies talking about that. But I agree with that. Once you build a platform that is timeless, you can always invest on timely things. That things makes then you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because you never have like a linear, just straight growth. I mean, the whole point of it is like you're gonna have moments of it's all cyclical, and you get a big moment, and then that brings you up to a different level, and then you're kind of up there, and then you do a big moment.
Case in point, an example from not even from Greg, from VML from a couple months ago, the Kit Kat heist.
Of course.
Yes, of course.
Have a Kit Kat has been around for decades. I don't know how long, but for decades. It's a timeless platform. And when they saw the opportunity to jump on it, it was a problem that it could revert into a great PR story. Yeah. It only happens because they have the foundation to do it. That's what
the big idea that you could act in within.
Oh my God. And just seeing all the comments too, because every single person comments on that, like, oh, they're just taking a break.
Yeah.
And that only happens if you have.
Yeah, exactly. We just did an idea in Brazil for Volvo. Volvo is all about safety, obviously,
of
right?
Course.
That's what the brand was predicated upon.
I was driving around the Volvo. It was my first car.
There you go. I have a child. I need safety.
World's safest car.
So we launched a campaign a couple months ago, or a month or so ago. That is only Volvo could do, which is this beautiful work anniversary celebration for a dummy. That has been working at Volvo for decades, and has been being crashed over and over and over, and it's still in one piece. So it was all the Volvo employees on LinkedIn. It was a LinkedIn thing, paying homage to Liam, a dummy.
That's so smart.
And you can only do that when you have a foundation of the brand, and then you jump on those opportunities that are timely.
Yeah, and you take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Because like the crash dummy is almost a distinctive brand asset.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's fine all the time.
This dummy is in better health than all of us.
Yeah.
And we are in good health, by the way, because of the dummy, which is where the homage is coming from. It's really
the dummy
cool.
should could be a doctor eventually, or like a surgeon.
You said that's down in Brazil?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
You should check it out. We should check it out too.
I want to shift it and just get a little bit more tactical. So for the listeners here that are in new business, maybe there's creatives, younger creatives that are raising their hands for new business pitches. I guess like for you, if you were in a new setting, new agency, and you had to prove that new agency, like what's the very first thing you would do to win some pitches?
Again, it's back to the story. Get your story together from an agency point of view first. Like, who are you? Why you are right for that pitch, and why you would be a right partner for that given client.
Yeah.
And then once you get it, the briefing, then really craft the story in the best possible way. And I think for the younger people who wants to be part of those, I would absolutely recommend that they do. There's a little bit of a cliche that says pitches are when you see the best of an agency. I'm not sure that's necessarily true because it's always chaotic.
You see it all. You see the best, the worst.
But to your point, you see it all. So if you're a junior creative, for example, what better opportunity you have than jumping on stuff with the CCO, for example, than on a pitch that you don't have time. So
it's the best
you know
visibility.
What I mean?
You're spending nights with them. You're hanging out with them. You're like working extra. It's the best visibility.
So jump on it. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I guess the last thing to close this out, for you, when it comes to new business and pitching, where you see it kind of moving in the future, what do you think is
Great question, Jack.
like? What do you think?
What's the
is-
future of pitching?
Yeah, what's gonna happen with like pitching? I mean, you got to hear this too. This discourse around like, should you even be pitching? Like, is the pitch process broken? Is there could it be fixed? I just want your thoughts on when you hear things like that in the discourse around pitching.
I understand, the will of brands and marketers to, go listen to the different opinions, and then decide which one is the most valuable one, so to speak. And, I think that's one way of doing that. Another way of doing that is dating. You business dating. I mean,
Yes.
you go into conversation, you see that if that thing will work, because what you see on a page is the very best orchestration of what an agency could show.
Sure.
It's very close to the truth. Sometimes it's not exactly the truth.
It's
because
like,
that's
it's
not
like a
what they
profile.
goes.
It's like a Hinge profile. You put your best. It's like your Instagram. You put your best stuff out
your
there.
best stuff,
but
but-
then that's not how you look and you see me in person.
And that's okay. You know what I mean? You need both, exactly. But I think at a higher level, the interesting thing about where the world is now with technology is that the more techy the world gets, the more human the world needs to be and our industry needs to be. In the end of the day, what I've been hearing from a lot of clients is great, again, data capabilities and AI and everything. Who are my people? Who am I relating to? Who am I going to the trenches with to make sure this brand is getting the attention that it needs? How senior is the leadership and how in those people are into my challenges, which to me is refreshing to hear. Because when you're then able to merge those two worlds together, then you got a winning case.
Yeah, that is what it feels like, because you need a little bit of structure to be able to compare. Like, you need to kind of have that, but you also, like, this is why you date. This is why you business date. This is why you business date. Because you kind of, like, there's things that really matter once you get into a relationship with someone. There's all those sayings around, like, picking your person, You gotta pick your person. look at the Jack. That's not, you can tell he's tensed up right now.
That's a lot of stress,
The
though.
dating
That's a lot of
process.
stress.
It's a lot. But listen, it's been a pleasure having you, Gabe.
Thank you so much.
Always amazing.
Appreciate
You guys done
it.
great work. I feel like that was like an inspiring.
He's a good guy.
That was an inspiring, informative, 15-minute chat.
I appreciate it. We are always here for you guys, and we love you guys.
Thank you
Cool.
so much.
Thanks
Cheers.
so much, Gabe.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Nice
Good
to
to
know
see you. Good to see you guys.
Now,
sir.
Gabe Schmitt. So here, we'll take that.
Would you let me?
And then you just have to exit through
like
through the back. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Try and get all his attention. Yeah, perfect. Gabe Schmitt, Gino.
Good guy.
We got a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Can you switch yours to the next
And
Switch yours?
switch mine.
Yeah, just for.
Hello, Ellie. What's
Okay,
going
we
on?
got-
You want to grab a mic?
Ellie, how's everything going out there,
Yeah.
production wise?
What are you seeing out there?
Going.
Have you seen- have you-
it's
have
a
you-
lot of AI talk. We're talking a lot about AI tools.
Have you had a chance? Can you hear that, JR?
Whatever one you're using the first time, don't use that.
Okay,
I don't know if it's Ellie's.
got it.
Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Can you hear Ellie? Ellie, can you hear Jack? Can you hear Jack? Can you hear Jack? Shout out to Mirren. Appreciate Mirren having us right now.
Shout out to Mirren.
This is my favorite subject to talk about, agency, new business. Honestly, Jack, it's like, how do you sell the agency? How do you, you're telling stories on behalf of clients all the time. This is a chance to show the agency story.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
get jazzed up about that.
And I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention all the great things happening at Mirren. I mean, you think about just the way that creativity is changing, the way that AI is changing how creatives work. How do you adapt to that for your clients? Because the number one thing that I feel like when we talk to CMOs and brands
Yeah.
is they say, we need an agency to come in and just help us with achieving our business goals, using creativity, because they're really good at that.
Yep.
But it needs to tie back to how we accomplishing our business goals.
Yeah.
And so I feel like from what we've heard out there, what we hear from people all the time with Mirren is like, they actually know how to do that. They actually can do that because all the people that started Mirren are like legit agency new business legends.
Yeah.
Legends.
Ellie,
Ellie, how are you doing over there?
Ellie
I'm
has
just
a-
here. I'm
yeah.
mic'd up.
Yeah,
So,
you're mic'd up. That's a fact. When you were out there, was there anything that stuck out to you?
yes. So one of the speakers right now, maybe you can see, is the CEO of 10,000 Robots.
Oh,
So
right.
we talked
Yeah.
about them.
Throwback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about them right when they were. Me?
Here you go.
Okay. Thank you.
They talked about
We talked about them right when they announced that they were becoming.
Launching, yeah, 10,000 robots, yeah, which is, when I remember correctly, it was an ad agency made of AI agents.
Yes. So she was saying
10,000 of them, I think.
They're,
to be
yes,
exact.
yes.
10,000. She was saying, just kind of explaining their workflow, but she was saying the actual humans that do work there kind of poke fun at it, and they have actual robots that they dress up like kind of stereotypes of coworkers that you have. Like one of the actual robots in their office is like hungover and like drank too many whiskeys.
Love that. Love that. Familiar sight for me.
So that's the Jacq of the
Yes.
It's the Jacq.
10,000
Yes.
robots.
That was the Ellie. That was the Ellie update from Mirren Live.
Thank you so much,
Mirren Live.
Ellie.
If you, I think we'll have Brent.
Production update.
Brent will come in next, Ellie. If he's out there, we'll have Brent Hodgins joining the show, managing director running the show here at Mirren. And okay, we'll wait on him. In the meantime. Okay, sounds good. So listen, Gino, a lot happening right now in the ad world, a lot happening overall in new business.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see things heading? Your prediction. We've been asking people about it. What's your prediction for new business ad agencies moving forward?
Listen, it's a big question. I think, I mean, like, pitching is going to be here forever. Like,
Yeah.
There are some select shops that have built a brand very well, and like they got some big wins early on in their lives. But even when you look at Wieden Kennedy, 40-plus-year-old agency,
Yep.
has Nike since they started, literally created Just Do It. They still have to pitch. Like, there are some agencies out there that say we don't do it, but everybody's going to have to pitch in some way, shape, or form. And now, listen, to be doing it for free, though, lowers the value, I think, and that's where I have a concern. It's like, if you're doing that for free, you're giving away like all your time, talent, your creative ideas, and you're just giving it to them and they like and judge you, there's a power disconnect. So
Yeah.
I think a good route could be, for those that can do it, these agencies that say, yes, we will enter this pitch, but there's a fee. We're not doing it for free. We need to put some value on it. And there's an agency out there, Loop, I want to give a shout out to. I was talking to Nick Gallo yesterday. This is something that he's been employing. He says it's on the record. That's something that he's been doing, and it's been working great for him because that power dynamic is not shifted right away.
No, yeah, that's fair. I feel like, you got to put a value on your work. And
let's
now,
ask the expert.
And here, I mean, we got the expert right here. It's Brent Hodgins. Here we go, managing
Fellas,
director.
how's it going?
Mirren.
Good.
Mirren, I
Good to
want
see
to
you.
make
Good
to
sure.
see you.
Here you go.
Okay,
Good to see you.
so people can hear me.
So you're
Better?
gonna just clip it. Clip it to somewhere on your.
I
on
can
your
help you
shoot
with
right
that.
there.
Jack, you want to tee it up?
Yeah,
Oh
listen,
my
Brent
God,
Hodgins. I mean,
that's like-
the legend. He was speaking. He was up there earlier talking
All right.
about how things are changing. But it's a pleasure to have you. It's amazing, and thank you for allowing us to set up shop
It's good to have you guys here.
here in the room. It's
Well,
amazing.
Can we kick it off with a big question?
Yeah, big question.
Because we were just talking, what does the future of pitching look like? Like, is there ever going to be a state of the world where agencies don't pitch?
Oh, dude, so you're coming in with like
Yeah,
a nice,
yeah,
easy
that's-
Sorry, we-
softball
This is
question.
what we do.
Well,
This is a big question.
I think there's the theoretical, which will take way longer to potentially happen versus what will happen in the short term. I think there's likely a future where it is client input AI, agency output AI that are connecting and trading data and information, and the selection process becomes a bit more automated.
Oh, that's
I think
crazy.
We're a long ways away from that.
Okay.
But I have a feeling there is, what's that from the Matrix? What is that, Neo? The sound of inevitability, I think, is playing out there.
I like that. I've never watched The Matrix, but that
Dude.
phrase sounds awesome. The sound of inevitability
Yes. Yeah,
it's a hush right now,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
it's gonna be a full-on roar. soon.
But we're a long ways away from that.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
this year, it's interesting to hear everyone talking about new business and how 2026 has been one hell of an up, down, all around kind of year. And even from big shops that we heard from, that everyone thinks, all right, it's easy for you. You've got lots of business flowing in, who are saying the phone has not been ringing as much.
Right.
And the deals that are coming in are smaller. And then you hear small and mid-sized shops are saying, the big agencies are coming down into our smaller ponds.
Right.
Oh.
Sort of looking for food, making that more competitive
Sure.
and tough. So, yeah, it's, and then of course, this little I'm not sure if you guys have talked about this on the show yet, but this little thing called artificial intelligence.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yes. Familiar.
You've heard
Very
of it.
familiar.
Yeah.
Heard of it?
And, everyone's been down in this world of figuring out what do we need to build, how do we use it for efficiencies. Where it needs to evolve a little bit further yet is, I think, around how do we use it to create value for clients, and not just streamline our operation, but how do we deepen our strategic thinking, deepen our creative thinking, better optimize what's going to market, being deployed. And I think we're going to need to really lean in on that, because we're also seeing a fair amount of research with clients as well.
Yep.
And what we're hearing from clients is that agencies aren't always addressing their most important business needs, business growth needs. And I think we've been so focused on AI that we've left some of the fundamentals that need to be in place for
Right.
effective work, and work that when we're coming in, it's not just being perceived as creativity for the sake of creativity, but creativity for the sake of commerce.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we just talked with Gab Schmitt. He was talking about that.
Yes.
Gab Schmitt, global CCO at Gray,
Yeah.
about that story. That story is so important, but the story needs to also include, okay, what does this do for the business in the future? Like, how does this achieve business goals? It's one thing to have like a buzzy, crazy moment, but it's another thing to connect that to a broader marketing strategy.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Brent, so the economy down right now, I think that's fair to say, everybody can agree on. So do you see that clients are now looking for more results, more effectiveness, and that's why it's more important at this specific moment?
Absolutely. However, where I think agency teams will sometimes give up too early is they'll say, well, there's too many variables that are beyond our control. We can't directly impact sales. The client doesn't give us enough access to the CMO. We don't get enough access to the client data. So how can we do that? But I don't think clients are looking for perfect attribution, because that's mostly not possible. We're getting closer, but we're still a ways away from that. What clients are looking for, though, is the effort. So it's, are you at least having a dialogue with me? I'm a QSR client. Are we talking about comp sales? Are we talking about traffic? Are we talking about the issue with our breakfast day part being down?
Yeah.
Our average check size is down. As an agency team, they want their teams having that kind of a dialogue first.
Yeah.
Then everything else follows.
Okay.
And I think there's a concern that there's a gap there. You don't really understand our business like you think you do, or at least my sense is of what you're focused on. And I think that's a big part of it.
May I play devil's advocate in some way, shape, or form here? Like, wouldn't that, to me, be on the brief? Like, the marketing team, when they write the marketing brief, like, they have that clearly indicated, like, they have a campaign outline that they're looking for, that they ask the agency, like, shouldn't that be there, and that's their responsibility? Or is there a disconnect when they get that, the agency gets that brief from the marketers, and then they do something totally creative and off? It's like, where does the disconnect happen?
And there's a big disconnect. Agencies are inadvertently being set up to fail. And here's why. You've got the CMO level, the C-suite level, are delegating brief writing down to mid-level marketing managers. And agencies know this, they deal with it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And that mid-level marketing manager doesn't have the same purview of the organization, they don't have the same insight, they don't have the same accountability for results that the C-suite does.
Yeah.
However, when the work is being approved, or if it's an RFP and an agency is being selected, the C-suite's involved.
Right.
So they don't, we've actually heard from clients in some of this research, they'll say, I feel bad sometimes because I didn't spend enough time with my marketing manager or director who ran the pitch. I read the brief an hour before the agencies arrived.
Right.
And it was like, what the hell is this? And then what happens is you get the inevitable, we just want to build awareness.
Okay.
And so the agencies that, awareness, we do awareness. We can totally build awareness.
Yeah, we love that.
We do that. And we want to build the brand and do all this stuff. But the C-suite, it's commerce.
Yes.
And as soon as the numbers
man.
drop, who's made the scapegoat? Who
Yeah.
gets fired? It's the chief marketing officer.
Exactly.
It's gone.
Right.
So the onus is actually on agencies to anticipate their target audience and what they really need, the unstated needs that they're not getting in.
How do you find that out?
Well,
If
here's
I'm
the
an
thing,
agency
though.
person.
So I worked at McDonald's for a few years. after a while, you need to get that it's comp sales, average check size, store traffic broken down by breakfast, morning drive, breakfast, lunch, the different day parts. And what happens when you start to have those business KPI level conversations, suddenly you start to get more access.
Yes.
Senior clients start to get a little bit more engaged. It's, hey, you know what, even for organic growth, rather than taking a new capability forward, hey, we've got a great new data analytics tool, we can't wait to show you. It should instead be, hey, we've actually got an idea where we think we can drive an increase in average check size. Like, how's next Thursday at 2 to run this past you?
Yeah, that's
I was
that
saying,
feels
yeah.
much different. That feels much different.
And it's just a different brief. That's all
Yeah.
it is. And no, you're not going to be able to guarantee a 2.3% lift.
But you're
the
thinking about
client's
it.
just happy that you're making the effort.
You're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that story. It goes back to it's telling the right story
Yeah.
and telling the story that is the most appealing to your audience.
Yeah.
I think that this is really fascinating because I mean, and you all know this. You all you're so well positioned to understand the broader landscape of like what are the actual disconnects that are happening.
Yeah.
And so for agency people, like they aren't aware of that sometimes of that marketing manager versus CMO tension because similarly like the brand is coming into the meeting, into that initial pitch meeting or whatever it is, and they want to also be aligned in whatever it is that they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's just both sides are like in a disarray sometimes,
And then
and
you
then
got
they show up.
procurement.
Yeah.
And even, I gotta be careful what I say, but marketing clients said they don't like procurement either. I mean, we'll hear from some of the marketing clients, like, we got to fill out 10 pages of paper to go to the bathroom around here now. Like, in fact, we've heard recently some marketing chiefs say, part of the skill set of becoming a chief marketing officer is your ability to skirt procurement.
Yeah.
To work around procurement to get shit done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, I
Gotta
can
bob
feel
it.
that.
Yeah, these are the spoils of being at like a big organization like that. There's just so much to and so it tells you so much about the brands that do the big time work, the crazy work. It's like that CMO is so dialed in,
Yes.
and so locked into like just knowing the internal organization. Like we talked with Jonathan Mildenhall about that.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, the CMO of Rocket.
He briefed like the whole when he was at Airbnb, right? And then when he got to Rocket as well, I think he released like a white paper that everybody had to read, even like the C-suite executive team, on the importance of branding. So just education.
Well, he proved the business outcomes that come from having a solid brand, having a really iconic brand.
And just education and awareness with internally on why
Procurement.
exactly.
Now procurement gets it.
Yeah.
They're
Yes,
in and
and
out
then
too.
that just can solve the disconnect. Like if you do that
you-
internal
And
awareness.
I think one of the biggest enemies of brand right now, and I think everyone watching at your agency side would agree, it's quarterly earnings.
Ooh.
Because it
Yeah.
takes time
love
to build a
quarterly
brand.
earnings.
So it's hard to say
Oh my
to a
gosh.
CMO, hey, it's going to take, this will take a year or so to build your brand. It's like, I won't have a job. That's like
Yeah.
Yes.
quarters away.
Who's not going to have a job?
Well, the marketing chief,
Yes,
if
the
it's
CMO.
taking forever
Yeah.
to get results.
Yeah, they're fat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, we've got an earnings call coming up in 3 weeks, and which also, by the way, I mean, the amount of insight that an agency can glean from an earnings call
Yeah.
and bringing that up with the client side marketing team. I mean, it's a real basic one. I know a lot of people do it, but sometimes we forget that there's good intel right there. The CEO, CFO, they're saying, these are our goals. Here's our numbers. They're talking about how they want to, the brand and their performance to be perceived. That's super critical intel for an agency.
Yes.
Feels like a great use case for an AI, like it's an agent to
What
go
was?
through the, yeah.
What are my 3 takeaways that I need
Yeah.
to know?
That's
Yeah.
that's from Mirren.
Yeah.
You guys should- but like
it's a good
interpret
point.
it and like make a brief out of it, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have like your agency's creative identity, your creds, your all the things that you've done, and being able to match that up with like what are the goals and outcomes from the
Jack,
from the
don't-
current
say no
earnings.
more.
I mean, come on,
Come on. We gotta
people.
keep that
this
quiet.
This is easy money. I'm freaking doing that. No, I'm just kidding. I make it sound so easy. It's
But AI does accelerate your ability to do that. Where
Right.
that might have taken weeks before.
Yes. No, for
I
sure.
hate to say it can only take a few hours now, but it can be only a few hours, and you can have some great.
From just to
The-
understand the research and then like actually figure out what some next steps could be. from it.
I'm so fixated on this, like on the brand side challenges. Do you envision a world where, like, with the way that AI can accelerate a lot of the tasks that maybe a CMO would hand off to a marketing manager, they can take that time back and now focus on like aligning on what the actual brief is and like what they're actually looking for?
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be, right?
Yeah, because I mean, part of the goal is to free up time to deepen strategic thinking.
Right.
And so, yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see how this plays out client side with marketing departments. And yeah.
My last question
Yeah.
I had, I wanted to ask, you put on this event, it's 2 days long, and it's all about helping agencies winning new business and just being a better agency and working with clients. When you're putting together the like itinerary, what people are going to talk about, what were some of the big themes for this year's conference, maybe compared to past years?
Yeah, so something that helps us, I don't want to do this, make it sound like a shameless plug, but from the training work that we do at agencies, we're working with agency CEOs every day. So we're pretty tuned in with, in the exact moment, what everyone's sort of dealing with. So AI is kind of a given,
Right.
but it's shifting the perspective from efficiency to client value. And if you can create more client value, in theory, you should be charging more, not less, for AI-powered services or AI-powered deliverables.
Right.
But if you're only billing by the hour, we all know that is
Yeah.
not a good. And then new business. I mean, it's always been a core theme of the event, but 2026 has not been a great year. Again, we've heard from some agencies that are the best in the business saying phone has not been ringing like it normally does, even in quieter periods. So the big shift there, though, is we've been making the point, if your pipeline relies upon RFPs alone, you don't have a pipeline. You have to get more proactive. You need a balanced pipeline of RFPs, the right ones when you're selective, but there's organic growth. Organic growth, you have a relationship, the door is open, you have a base understanding of the business. That is the number one, the fastest, easiest, most profitable source of revenue. And then you need proactive prospecting, where you're actively targeting those high value brands that you can most quickly and easily convert into a new assignment. With that premise I mentioned before, hey, we've got a great idea to increase your average check size.
Right.
How's next Thursday to connect?
We lose the organic growth. Everyone wants the new shiny toy. It's like dance with the girl you brought to prom, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you like that one?
Yeah,
Thoughts
I'm a
on that?
big-
You can use it. Dance with the
this guy's
dance
good.
with the date that you brought to prom. That's yeah. Everyone always. I feel
We
it's
do
so.
get bored. I think as agency
Yeah,
people,
you get bored.
We get bored easily. And here's one of the biggest myths in the agency business. Oh yes, sir, we've got no more budget. But thank you. That is really translation for what you brought forward isn't worthy of a budget.
Yes.
So I'll just, I don't want to be mean, so I'll
Yes.
just tell you there's no more budget.
Yeah.
But it's like if someone came to us and said, hey, Brent, we've got an idea to get people to pay twice as much to register for Mirren Live. Do you think I'm not going to take that call?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not our goal to do
Yes,
that.
of course.
But I
Of
would
course.
take the call.
Yeah.
sure.
Right. Because
Yeah.
it's
So you know that person knows what is important. And
Yeah.
like what makes
versus
an option.
if they're like, I can get you on a phone call with 55 potential attendees tomorrow.
Yes.
Like that's a different. That's
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
enticing.
Yeah.
I think that's super fascinating though. I mean, there's so many crazy things that you just don't hear about.
So I've been asking this question, like it's a little bit more tangible. Let's say you're dropped into an ad agency, you're head of new business there. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's holding company or independent. Who cares? You just got dropped there. What's the first thing that you're doing in that role?
In role of new business,
Yeah, at an agency.
first thing I'm doing is an audit. I'll want to know, number one, who's the talent. Close to that, I'd want to know an understanding of the positioning, the current positioning, intended and perceived
Oh yeah.
of the agency. I'd want to know, there's a P word that most agencies hate, but it's important. What process is in place for new business? So building those repeatable systems for pitching, proactive or reactive, so that it's not always reinventing the wheel every time
Yes.
there's a pitch.
Yep.
And it's funny, I remember, this goes back a few years, but I remember one agency I worked at here in New York, they could tell the size of the pitch that I was going to try to pull them into by the size of the bottle that I was bringing around to bribe. And of
course.
I want to know how are we approaching new business now?
Right.
And,
The audit is
we got to
important.
get it consistent. And it's not that you can't. There's got to be room for flexibility and to adjust for the needs of each client and each pitch, but there's got to be some efficiencies there, some scale to it.
Yeah.
I love it.
But
It's all about audits. You gotta know what you are. You gotta know what you are, and I think that the process part is important too. You gotta create something to like, because you just hear about a lot of stories with new business, and it's like it's the most frantic, chaotic thing. Which of course it will be inherently, but there's a way to make it so that it's at least consistent.
Yes, and to your point, there's always going to be chaos.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the fun.
Yeah, right.
Too, that we get addicted to. So you don't want so much process that you stifle creativity.
Yeah.
You don't want to stifle spontaneity. You need that, and that's especially when agencies still every once in a while go up against the consultancies, the management consulting firms. What separates agencies the most from them is creativity, because consultancies want to standardize everything.
Right.
They want we want 10 steps to the perfect creative idea. Not possible. So creativity, insight. Consultancies don't do genuine, emotional, untapped, unmet needs that insight can bring to bear. And then the ability to activate against that insight with creativity, to have something that's a little more breakthrough, unconventional, that just boom, that just hits.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think that all of those points are great. It's been a pleasure. We've got one more duo coming in after this, Brent. Mirren live from New York City. Clap it up.
Guys,
Come on.
yeah.
This
Thank
is it.
you.
This
Good
is
to have you.
fantastic. Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate it,
I will
Brent.
go cue
Thank you, sir.
up the next.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get him
I'll
going.
grab the mic.
All right.
We'll
Thanks,
grab the
guys.
mic. We'll grab the mic. So we're just gonna keep the hot mic on Brent the rest of the day.
Nicely done. Oh, and I was going to ask you one last thing. Are you team like for pitches rehearsal or
Oh, here we
go
go.
in a little bit like not as rehearsed? What do you think?
Yeah. So at least half is going to hate me for whatever answer I have. I lean on the rehearsal side,
Me too.
and I know that there's a lot of people that believe you got to be spontaneous. However, the problem with everything being spontaneous is the next person doesn't know what the next person's going to say, what the previous person's going to say, and it comes together like a patchwork quilt.
Yeah.
Yep.
Get the outline, kind of like practice the
It doesn't
outline.
have to be perfectly word
Yeah.
for word,
Yeah.
but your team's got to get that flow down.
I'm with it. I'm
Get
with
the
that.
flow down.
Because people are so split on that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's how I would like to do it too.
And I think as agency people, we don't like rehearsing.
No.
It's like it feels a little painful. We're
I love it.
role-playing,
It's fun.
And
Yeah,
that's
well,
the
yeah.
theater
listen,
kid in me,
That's
so.
the theater.
Yeah,
I'm the opposite. I
no,
don't script.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Brent, appreciate it. Thank you
Nice
so
done.
much.
Thank you, sir.
Absolute pleasure. All right, next guests are coming in. Gino, excited for this one. We got Anomaly's Frankie Rodriguez, CEO at Anomaly in New York and Toronto. And then Murder Hornets, Alex McGinnis, president and co-founder. Talking about the agency model here. This is one of the hotter topics of the last year.
Time employees working on different clients, doing their thing at an ad agency, all full time, bring in a couple of contractors as needed. And then there's this other model that we're seeing, and Murder Hornet, I believe, will clarify as well. But you have a few senior exec leaders that are full time, and then they have a talent pool of like freelance creatives that can come in as needed. It can expand, it can shrink as needed to really match the different client needs in the roster model that people are seeing more so today. So that's how I just wanted to set the tone there, that these are two different systems.
Yeah, I
two
like
different
it.
like philosophies, if you will.
Okay, yeah, I mean, we're going to have Frankie Rodriguez, who is the CEO at Anomaly. We talked with Carl Johnson, one of the founders of Anomaly. Absolute legend.
Oh,
Absolute legend.
Yeah.
He was saying, they just opened up another office, and they were talking about how he is still like in the work creatively 55% of his time.
Oh,
too.
yes.
And this guy
Yes.
is like an absolute legend. He's been in the game forever.
I mean, it's Anomaly. It's like one of the most Super Bowl known agencies.
Ton of Super Bowl work, ton of great work across the board.
Yeah.
And I think we got our next guest coming in. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Great to
Hello,
see
hello.
you. Good to see you. You are live. We are live right
live
now.
right
We're live.
You're live.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, this is it. This is how we do it.
You're not kidding.
Yeah, this
So
is your
a
mic.
clip. If you want to clip this on somewhere.
Oh, nice. You got it.
Cool.
You're
Wonderful.
clipping on, and so great duo here. We got Alex McGinnis and Frankie. Frankie, How are you feeling? You guys are just talking, right? You guys are just talking?
I am, yeah. I'm feeling great. I think that was a great panel. It was fun. I nearly fell off the stage.
Did you?
There
Do
was
we have?
drama.
Did you
There
catch
was
it?
theater.
There was
There
theater.
was theater.
I did. I caught it. It was
Nice.
I thought it was impressive.
How close were you to the ground upon falling?
It was like the back, because I moved, right? And
You're
I guess
moving.
I was nudging my stool, and the two back legs of the stool went off the back of the stool. So I nearly barreled right out the
yes,
back.
the insurance policy does not cover
No, it does
that.
not. I caught
That
it,
is workplace.
it's crisis averted.
Is it? I mean, you used to talk about theater, a little bit of pitch theater,
Oh, yeah.
if you will. I feel like, would you be above doing like a fake, if it came down to it, if you were in a pitch, of doing like a fake chair fall from a certain height?
First
Like,
of all,
which height are we falling
First
from?
of all, if I'm in a pitch, to be clear, I'm not above anything.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna
That's right.
That's the right answer.
That's right.
That is the right
Pitch
answer.
That's
theater,
right.
no doubt.
That's
For
right.
sure.
Yeah.
I've said in the past for a sponsorship, I will get a tattoo on my forehead, and that's just a part of the game that we play.
I have a long contract commitment there for the tattoo.
That's right. It's like
10-year plus
oh my God.
sponsorship.
48 hours.
That might happen. That might happen. Well,
Well,
let's
yeah, where
talk
to start?
about Frank. You're the partner and CEO of Anomaly New York and Toronto, and Alex, president and co-founder of Murder Hornet. Two different styles of agency, different palettes, if you will. We'll get into that, but first and foremost, what did you guys talk about on stage?
Well, we talked about a couple different things. Alex was one of three, all very different agency models, right?
Yep.
One built on freelance and leveraging sort of talent and flexing. One that was more sort of agentic AI and really deploying that products and services, and one that was more about building service inside of the client. So they were super different. So we just talked about how they were different, why they built it, what opportunity they saw in the market.
Yeah. I loved it. I think they did a great job just choosing three folks that had very, very different things to say, because otherwise you're just, it's like more of the same, more of the same, more of the same. But I feel like between the three, we probably had the most to talk about just because of where you're at Anomaly and what you're seeing and what you've experienced. And similarly, like what we're trying to build at Murder Hornet is due to likely the same things you're seeing and experiencing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So explain your model to us again. Like,
Sure.
How did you describe it?
Sure. Well, look, Anomaly, we've been around just over 20 years, so we've been around for a while. And the easiest way to explain it is the name of the company, Anomaly, the word by definition, deviation from the norm, is the idea that drives us. So we started, in 2004, very intentionally recognizing the industry model was broken, and we threw away timesheets. We said we're not going to charge for time. We threw away the traditional model and said our ambition is not to be an advertising agency, because we believed if you sell a product or a service, you become predisposed to believe that is the answer to every question. And we wanted to embrace the broadest definition of creativity. So the answer might be advertising, it might be product design, it might be a pricing strategy, it might be long form content, right? So that was our basic fundamental philosophy.
So how did you put that in a wrapper? You just said we're Anomaly? And
That's it.
And
we
we'll do-
literally, the name is the idea. We are Anomaly. Like most people, you start small. People who are, dare I say, evangelists that genuinely believe it. They don't show up. It's not just where you work, it's who you are. You share that philosophy, and then you go out and you say to clients, hey, if you hire an ad agency, they're going to sell you advertising. If you hire a digital agency, they're going to sell you digital solutions. If you hire an Anomaly, we're going to partner on your business and help with the most creative solution that is right for the task.
I like that.
Yeah.
Alex, how about you? Murder Hornet, what's the system here? How do you describe it?
So we are commonly known as a hub and spoke model. There's a ton of great agencies that operate in that fashion. We've branded it Nest and Swarm intentionally.
Of course.
Murder Hornet. How could you not?
How could you
We're in
not?
the business
I
of
mean,
branding.
come on now.
But small core team that works out of Atlanta. We call them the Nest. 10 odd folks, very operationally excellent, strong agency backgrounds, kind of have seen it all, done it all, like wide swath of experience. And then we have a Swarm network, which is our extended freelance team that surrounds the Nest. And we build those Swarm teams to be bespoke and curated to solve the project, problem, campaign, brief at hand. And we lead with that. We keep our cards on the table. We tell clients we use freelance. It's not our dirty little secret. And you're going to be building the rapport with the Nest team. They're the people that you call up at 9 p.m. when shit's hitting the fan and we need to solve this tomorrow. And then we assemble the team to solve that problem alongside.
Flexible.
Flexible.
Agency billing. billing the client is somehow become like one of the most talked about topics. Can you believe it? Like we've gotten
Yes.
to this point.
Well, they,
Yes, I can.
You can
We
believe
built
it.
an entire agency.
Have you? Were
Yeah.
you? I'm not historically knowledged on
Yeah.
the history of billing clients, but was Anomaly kind of the first to this? Have you all?
I mean, we think we
I don't
we
know.
think
I
we
don't
were the
know,
first.
like, the
I mean,
trends.
again, you know,
Yeah.
we try not to brag. I don't know. Maybe someone was doing. I think I think it's fair to say we were the first who did it and have done it successfully for a lot of many Fortune 100 companies. So it was a
Yeah.
fundamental pillar of our agency when we started it. One of the three pillars was we will never charge for time. We will charge for the value of the output. So what we make and our thought capital is what's worth money,
Okay.
not how long it takes or how many people it takes to do it.
So how do you? Does that mean a lot of like contract? Like, does it every different billing might look different for different clients?
Yeah,
If you're taking it kind of
every single
output.
one of our contracts is bespoke. It's
Okay.
based on the client need. But of course, you know, we've been around 20 plus years. We have seven
Yeah,
seven
totally.
offices around the world. We now have history, our own benchmarks.
Right.
So when a client comes and says, hey, we need a full 360 campaign with a Super Bowl spot and a thing, we have enough of a knowledge base to go, that's roughly between this and this. Or they say we need an entire design architecture across our product portfolio. So we have benchmarks now. And then, you know, what I love, it's, you know, capital markets, willing buyer, willing seller. We decide, right? If it's something we really want to do, and we go, it's $500,000, and the clients go, we have 200,000. We go, we'll take it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we
Yeah,
go,
totally.
sorry,
Right.
come back.
Because you can like
Yeah,
you can
so-
do the math. Like you can kind of work back into, is this going to be something that's going to be like net positive ROI
For sure.
for our time? So it's not like the craziest thing in the world.
No.
So Alex, I want to ask you your thoughts on that. Like where it seems like there's more and more push for that, and then you know, in your experience talking with clients, with brands, do you think that there's going to be a point where it becomes sort of the norm? That's what's being described.
I think it's headed in that direction, and thank you for doing so much heavy lifting.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it made our lives a lot easier when we're like, oh, we're going to do deliverables-based pricing, and
Yeah.
here's like a menu of
Anomaly does it.
things. Yeah, Anomaly does it.
Anomaly does it for Starbucks and
Yeah.
Chevy and
Yeah. It can
right
work for
Diageo,
you.
like big clients. Come on, you can
Yeah.
get with it. You can get with it. It's
Yeah,
working.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
And so for us, it's always been the way that we priced, and I see more and more agencies moving in that direction because we've become so commodified. I think agencies are kind of
Yeah.
done with that, and they're seeing the success stories of the Anomalies of the world. Like, okay, we can do this. We can paint that picture, craft that story of why things should cost the X
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
like a bucket of deliverables, as opposed to like a person who's allocated 100% on your business, which
Yes.
is really arbitrary. And where was I going with this thought?
Yeah, I mean, just the way that it's headed. Like our
Yeah.
brands are kind of like opened up to it. It
Oh,
might
yes.
create a little
Yes,
bit more
yes, yes.
complexity, but I also think that the way the technology is advanced, you can kind of meet it where it's
Well,
at.
and so what I was going to say was, Murder Hornet prides itself on bringing procurement along, which I mentioned when I just spoke, and we keep them very close, and we kind of demystify everything so they understand the value of what we're bringing, and it's not just a person that's working on a deck that's going to get presented, you know, for 1 hour, and that has really, really helped us. And I set it up on stage, like they really delight in the details and they want to know. Like if you tell them like, hey, this is what it's going to cost and why, and this is the value it's going to drive, we hope, they'll buy into that. And it becomes a much easier conversation. It doesn't have to be scary.
Yeah, and I think it's heading that way. And I think the interesting next phase, hopefully, will be because what you guys are doing is fascinating, right? 90-10, swarm, nest, project work. What we've been doing for a long time is more retained value, output-based pricing. And I think getting, basically getting more clients to be okay with longer-term engagements where they're paying for the value of the output as opposed to the traditional time and people.
Totally.
How do we get more clients
That's
there?
the hurdle.
I got a very tangible question.
Yeah.
When we see an AOR win, agency of record win, how long is that? Is that like a year? Is it like what's like the minimum?
That's a great great question.
There's so many like
Yeah.
parallel. It's just hard not to draw
AOR, look,
parallels.
AOR, I would say minimum is a year.
Yeah.
Like usually your contract,
Nice.
your
12
scope
months.
of work is 12 months. The MSA supersedes the SOW, and typically, like for us, you do an MSA, it's 3 to 5 years, right? And we're very proud to say at Anomaly, our average client tenure when we win a piece of new business is probably around 8 years. So we've had Diageo for
amazing.
15,
Wow.
we've had ABI for 12, we've
Really?
had. So we get in there, and our ambition is to stay in there. by delivering true value,
Totally.
right? Not by self-serving. Hey, we got these great ideas that's never been done before, and we're going to win a Cannes Lion. It's like, no. This is how we're going to help you drive the bottom line of your business, and clients appreciate that.
Totally.
That's
But
awesome.
then there's a whole other side of it too. It's like realizing the need to be flexible, and this project-based work, like a lot of brands are opting for that. We see now rosters of agencies being built out, and that's a whole other strategy that brands are doing, and it works very well. So Alex, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think that that's also part of what the future ecosystem is going to look like. I don't think retained relationships will ever go away because there's something to a partnership that sees results that you can't ignore. But with shifting budgets, because I think it's a misconception that budgets are getting smaller, I think they're being shifted and being allocated differently. You'll see more project-based work coming to fruition and being the path forward for brands that feels more comfortable. And so what we're trying to do in that vein is get an MSA that's multi-year and then have them guarantee 3 to 4 projects a year. So like one a quarter. So then it's kind of repeat revenue for you that feels more secure. It's not like one-off project, knock it out of the park.
Win-win.
Hopefully we get another one.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're going to do 3. We have 3 initiatives.
Nice.
And then we'll, it's repeat business, but not in the same way where you're an AOR partner and
That's
like
right.
every day you're on the phone.
It's always on,
Yeah.
So, but
can kind of-
building out those tentpole moments, that's great.
I mean, it's kind of like
social too.
It also aligns with how you actually create an effective campaign, right? Like it's rare to see something that actually drives legitimate results that isn't something that is a relationship or a partnership or a campaign that's gone on for like a year long at least.
Yeah.
So it just is like, it feels, I don't know, there's a temptation always to do like that. I was talking about it earlier, like the quick buzzy, quick hit, quick win, and you're like, okay, we did that, but there's no way to like measure if that actually worked.
That's right. And I think it's, you said it perfectly. I think it's, we talk often at Anomaly about the power of the and versus the tyranny of the or, right? You can do both. It doesn't have to be only AOR or only project based. I think clients are getting smarter, and I think one of the things maybe doesn't get talked about enough is the other significant value of a long-term agency partnership is client turnover is happening more often and more quickly. And oftentimes we are now the more consistent, we are the stewards of the brand.
Right.
The new CMO comes in and goes, hey, I love that you've been working on Captain Morgan for 12 years and you know what worked and what didn't, and you know, right? Because on the client side, the pressure is real and that turnover is happening so often. And it's like, where do you go for the knowledge base and the
Good point.
understanding and the depth of insight that drives these businesses?
Yeah, if you have an agency relationship past 10 years, it's like now you guys are the knowledge keepers. You're the archivists
That's
of
right.
the brand.
That's
And
right.
like the CMOs, they come and go.
Yeah.
But you've been there. It's like you have such value at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost want to ask like the opposite part of that, which is like when you are working with a new brand. We've talked a lot today about in situations where the client's feedback to the agency is that this is all great, creative. These are cool ideas, but you're not telling me how this actually helps our business grow. So how for the agency, for Murder Hornet, how do you get up to speed quickly on understanding a business and their strategy and determining what business results you can drive?
Sure. Yeah, we have a very rigorous onboarding process that's just rooted in asking questions because, everyone, says that the new business process is like dating, and then the actual relationship once the contract is signed is the marriage. So we take that dating process very seriously.
I love it.
And we're constantly asking them questions, like we're discussing over candlelit dinner. We don't know everything about them, but then you get to the core of their problems. And then with all of the AI tools and search tools, you can learn about a business. It's all like kind of public domain. And then you ask the harder questions when you're in the room with them to get really smart. We document all of it very rigorously because it serves us well when we brief our swarm teams, because those are constantly being changed in and out. So we need to be super tight about what the hell they need and where their business is going or where they want it to go or what's going to get them promoted if something happens within the next 12 months. So yeah, I guess short answer, very, very rigorous onboarding, asking a lot of questions, asking the hard questions, and just constantly communicating with them and caring about the business, like, researching what the brand has been about, wants to be about, and being able to ask the smart questions that kind of gets you to the meat that's going to deliver.
And I think that's, by the way, sorry.
No.
I think that's worth putting an exclamation point on, right? Like we say this often, clients get the work they deserve, right? Like, and I think good on Murder Hornet and Anomaly. It's always been fundamental to us to make sure we are asking the right questions, right? Every great question has half the answer, but we find as clients are panicked and they're moving around quickly and they're going to pitch and they're putting together these RFPs and it's surface. And I think, and then they wonder why. This is no shade, but this is the reality. Like, we've pitched clients, let's say in the last 3-4 years, we've won a lot of them, some we've lost, and then we'll see the same client go out for pitch 2 years later. And you go, you wonder why, right? Like, if you're not putting in the work to arm and equip whatever agency, whether it's Anomaly, Murder Hornet, or anyone else out there, put in the work to set them up to be successful, right?
Yeah, it's like you only see in like the best relationships and partnerships, you only see the output on the outside, and you don't realize what goes into like making that thing that was so awesome. And so I could totally see, like I could see myself if someone made me a CMO today, I'd be like, okay, Anomaly, Murder Hornet, can you guys just make something really cool?
Yeah, make it awesome.
Like what this other agency just did with this brand, and he'd be like, no, you idiot, and then you punch you in the mouth, and I would be okay with that.
You know what I would do as a CMO, and I
What
want
would
to
you
get your
do?
opinion. If I was a CMO, I would like come to an agency and do a pitch, whatever, and just be like, I don't know what the exact problem is. Can you help me figure it out? And like, there might be like
There's
pitch
something to
consultants.
that.
You're hired.
Yeah.
Boom.
Be vulnerable.
No, that's-
These are things on my mind. Let me ramble. Like, I don't know where to pinpoint.
That's
like,
exactly
You don't know
right.
what your problem is.
And that
I
is,
think you know what your
that's what we say to client. We're like, look, if you are at an inflection point as a brand or a business, and you say, I know the playbook we've used to get us here can no longer be the playbook moving forward, but I don't know exactly sure where to go, Anomaly is a great choice. If you're like, this is exactly what we need to do, rinse and repeat, but we need to do it more efficiently, don't call us.
Yeah, I feel like it must be like a dream scenario when like if a client comes to you with that level of vulnerability and almost self-awareness. And like in a lot of cases,
Like, I'm going to lose my job in 2 years probably.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
sounds
it's tough.
trite, but we'll be like, what keeps you up at night? Just
Right.
tell us. Like, just be honest about that. And they're like, well, the last reporting call sucked and the CEO got on my back because this campaign didn't work. Just say that.
Yeah.
And then you get to partnership so much faster.
True.
I think it was Jeff Goodby that was saying like, you know, the CMO and the marketing team will brief you, and then it's like you got to listen towards the end of like, there'll be a side comment of like, but you know, really wish we'd increase this thing. Or, like, you know, I'm really stressed about, and that's the thing. He's like, you stay till the end, so you listen to that last moment, the last sigh.
Yep, the thing that wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
The thing that
advice.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
The questions behind
That's
the
why
questions.
dinner after is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes a lot
And
of
drinks.
drinks.
And
Dinner and
Of course,
drinks.
people loosen up.
Make it Diageo or ABI.
that is
Good
what's on.
plug.
And if you're, hey, listen, if you're gonna go to an agency, the agency better have been at Mirren. Shout out to Mirren.
That's it. Shout out
Yeah,
Mirren.
shout out
Exactly.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you
for
guys.
joining us.
Yeah, it's
Frankie,
been fun.
appreciate
Real
it.
pleasure.
Thank you,
I can
Alex.
take
You guys look
you.
great, by the way.
Yes, thank you so
I'll
much.
be on your podcast
Thank you so
anytime.
much.
Thank you. Well, you know
It's
what?
all rigged up.
It's we're gonna stay live here for a couple seconds. I don't know why I also took off my mic, but you all are free. Feel free to exit through the rear doors here.
We'll try and escape.
Yes. Well, thank you both so much.
Thank you.
That was Alex and Frankie.
That was fantastic.
Alex from Murder Hornet, Frankie from Anomaly, and it's the end of the show. We've reached the end. Thank you all for sticking with us if you stuck through it. A little bit of technical difficulties, but when you bring the show on the road, that's kind of what you expect. And of course, we will be posting the full episode in its entirety, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, after the show. Mirren Live. I believe they still have virtual passes available if you want to tune in tomorrow to watch and listen to some of the best agencies talk about new business.
That's right, Jacq. I had a lot of fun. I do genuinely love this stuff, talking about new business growth here, and I want to see all these agencies be successful. There's room for more agencies. That's my hot
Jeff
take.
Goodby said his biggest piece of advice: start an agency now.
Now.
Start it now if you're thinking about it.
And then come to Mirren so you can learn how to grow it.
I like this episode a lot because it's very focused. This
Yeah.
feels like one of those episodes that you'll pass around for years to come.
Masterclass.
It's like, what is the state of new business right now in agencies?
Are you saying
and
we're going to be
business?
here next year?
I think-
Hopefully.
I would love to. I would love to be. We just did all like. We should just get closer and closer to the stage.
Yeah.
In just a confined box. That's the show. Appreciate everyone. Anything before we go? Any like big thing that you learned today? I'm gonna try and back up.
Oh. You help me out. What was the big thing that you learned today?
To me,
and
it's the
squatting.
story. I love Gabriel Schmitt coming in here, and then all of it being reinforced by all the other guests
Yeah.
of telling the story to your client about how the thing that you're going to make with them, the strategy, is going to lead you to better business results, and tying it back to the creative, cool, awesome, dope
Yeah.
breakthrough idea. Like, don't lose the spark and the magic of the creative, but make it make sense and draw that path to the end result.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Jack's advice in the very beginning from Wieden Kennedy, CMO here, the auditing. How do you even determine if you want to get involved in this process here? Number one, will it excite your team members and your agency? Number two, can you create good work out of this? And number three, is there bandwidth? And you know me, Jack, I love logistics, I love bandwidth, I love that portion too. Those are the three keys from Wieden and Kennedy's global CMO people. The stuff you can only find on Breaking Entering Live at Mirren Live in New York City. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be live again back in HQ tomorrow, 11 a.m. And Jack, it's going to be a big episode.
It's going to be a big episode. It's a mega stream. So tune in for that. We'll see you all later.
I feel like I'm on like the